Hola, everybody. This is Angel Arts. I don't know why I just turned the Spanish on, but that's okay. Welcome to the third session of the main squad of Let's Roleplay Mass Effect RPG campaign, Mass Effect Collision. I am here with my five players, and we're going to get right into it with the warm-up question. So this is last warm-up question was mostly about the green galaxy. We're going to shift gears. At some point, I'm anticipating you will be, according to what the players told me last time, they will be ending up in the red galaxy. So I just wanted to ask a question that reiterates a scene that happened in session one. If you remember, there was this lady who was asking for a survey. The Friends of the Galaxy is what she called her organization. And she was telling you that in the red galaxy, the council has put a law banning anyone from recreating, building, doing research on synthetic life. Because now that synthetics are destroyed, the council decides, all right, we're not making any more synthetics because we don't want another Reaper conflict or whatever to arise again. The Friends of the Galaxy argue that these restrictions are a little too much, and they believe that as long as it's controlled, there should be no reason why we can't have people working on synthetics or doing synthetic life. That doesn't automatically mean that it's going to equal us doing the same mistakes that we did last time. So my question is, what does your character think about that specific issue? Anar being from that
Uh,
world, I'm not sure what Anar has been thinking about it this entire time when he knows that there's been a ban on that kind of stuff from his world.
yeah. From his personal relations from his best friend, who is absolutely obsessed with that AI research, he's
Yep.
actually against it just for the sake of his friend. So he's actually 100% against the ban. So he's willing to go into the illegal areas just so he can help his friend out. The only problem is he's still missing, so I guess right now it doesn't matter. Believe it or not, Anar does not care about himself as much as he does his friends when they're in the picture. Uh,
Aw.
Hmm.
yeah, they'll probably come into play later. But anyways, short answer, no, he doesn't agree with it. He wants it to continue. Besides, more targets. Why not?
Hmm. I think with Sync, I think he's against the idea of no research, because to him, he feels as though life has to evolve at some point. It just can't. Something needs to happen. Things need to grow. It can't just stay stunted and level forever. Um, I think at one point he's going to try some research. I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But he's probably when he's in the red, he's probably just going to keep that dial program on, stay a little out of sight, hidden, to try to not, spark any unwanted attention that he's not going to want.
Huh,
Well,
my systems say that you're dead.
Sync is, of course, Sync and Elias and Cicepia are unaware of this ban.
Mm,
So
right.
just make sure you keep that in
True.
mind that you are not aware of this when you will arrive.
True.
However, Anar and Arkara being aware, they may or may not wonder how things are going to work with a cybernetic like Sync being in that galaxy. It's not exact. He's not synthetic life, but it's like borderline. So it's a very gray area there. I think that'll be interesting. Who would like to go next?
I can go next.
Go ahead, Art.
As for Arkara, I think she is a little bit ambivalent about it because, on one hand, she fought the Geth and everything like that, so she knows how dangerous they can be. So, in that regard, she's a little bit for this ban, but at the same time, she hopes that people have learned their lesson this time around, so they may be able to start doing it and try to avoid the pitfalls this time around. So she's a little bit unsure of where she stands on it, but overall she doesn't really care because she's not involved personally in it. So she's a bit on the fence, but generally just doesn't really give a toss.
As a follow-up question, Arkara, do you believe that she thinks that, because you mentioned don't repeat the same mistakes, does Arkara believe that creating the Geth in the first place was a mistake?
I don't think she believes it was a mistake to create them, but it was a mistake in how it was handled, I think. From
Okay.
what she has learned from her fellow people she's fought with.
Gotcha. So it's not the synthetics themselves. It's how the synthetics were dealt with.
Yeah,
Makes
how
sense.
people handle them, basically.
That's a good specification. All right. Next.
Eric, do you want to go? Because I think I know what my answer is.
I think Elias is going to go on a rant. I feel like
I'm struggling with this one because.
Okay, well, I'll go next. Elias more or less agrees with Arkara because given the way that things have turned out in the Green Universe, he knows what happened and why. So the issue isn't whether or not synthetics are controlled or whether the science into them is controlled. It's actually about how they're programmed in the first place. So if relations had been handled better, there wouldn't have been a synthetic organic conflict, at least in this cycle. So while he might not agree with can't remember what the acronym is at the moment. That particular group,
FOTG, Friends of the Galaxy.
FOTG, yeah.
FOTG.
He might not agree with Friends of the Galaxy because he'd be looking at them going, I don't think you're really understanding what just happened. And he probably wouldn't back them, but he wouldn't be supporting a ban into synthetic life necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And go ahead, Cicepia.
Yeah, I feel like it would come down to who's in charge, who's running the research. If it's just kind of like this small group that's trying to tinker, then that's not good because there's a lot of things that could go wrong. It would have to be very much kind of like regulated, looked at, make sure nothing does go wrong. Yeah, this one was a toughie. I had a hard time thinking how she would think about it. But it would all depend on like how it would be regulated. You don't want something like that to just blow up in their faces.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's continue on. At the end of our last episode, we were introduced to the Endurance, which is Sync's ship. We'll just take it off from the moment that you guys actually enter into the ship for the very first time and you see the surroundings. So the area that you're at now, if you switch over to the Roll20 side, this area over here that I'm pinging, this is the staircase. This is a staircase that leads up to the main level of the ship. And that is where you entered from. So basically, in order to exit the ship, you go down these steps into the airlock or whatever it is that you take. And from there, Sync can decide whether he wants to give a tour or not, and if he does, what areas he will actually show them on the tour. If you need to ask me any questions out of characters, Dylan, you're welcome to it, because I never actually walked you through this ship myself.
Okay. I guess, once the elevator rises or we get to the top, I'll just, welcome. Please, make yourself at home. Hopefully, we can call the ship home long enough for us to fix whatever it is we gotta fix. If any of you guys want a tour, don't mind, just ask. Otherwise, just the only, I guess, out of character, he would just kind of point to this room over here to say, please, just stay out of this room. And we'll be kept locked, so don't try anything.
Just in general, so we can get a feel for the ship, Dylan. Have you and Mridi kept this ship? I mean, is it a fairly well kept ship? Is it a pigsty? Is it relatively
Mridi,
clean?
okay, so yeah, Sync is kind of a pigsty, but Mridi does her best to kind of keep it clean, I guess. Like he doesn't ask her to. He doesn't ask her to clean up after him or anything like that. It's just he just kind of is like, whatever. And she just kind of like, oh, okay, I'll just kind of,
Is there still a burnt peanut butter cake in the mess area?
Yeah, that is a
It's
question.
still there.
Yeah, there still is.
Yeah.
It's still there. Okay.
Peanut butter chocolate.
Feel
Yes.
free to have some if you.
Raised eyebrow, looking at the cake.
I don't think I can eat it, but not without getting some really bad stomach cramps.
What are the sizes of the quarters here?
Well, they should be able to fit anyone. Well, Hanar, you may have trouble fitting your mech in there. I'm not sure exactly the measurements, but I can assure you they're comfortable, and they haven't been used in quite some time, if at all. So please, just make yourself as comfortable as you can.
This one appreciates your hospitality.
Indeed, it's very nice of you to lend your ship for this.
Out of character, how new or old is the ship? Dill mentioned out of character that this was a prototype.
Right, it's around 5 years old.
5 years old.
Okay.
So roughly around the time of the Reefer conflict, yes.
So it was new around that time, so it's going to be I'm assuming it's pretty cutting edge. Well, almost.
Well, in this story, I really didn't, say. I kind of, Hark, I was going to leave it up to you. I didn't know what you wanted us to have, and not just for I guess, balance purposes. So. Let's see.
I think I know what I'm gonna do.
It's fairly cutting edge in the sense that you can equip the ship with, you can equip the ship with virtually anything that's on the character player's handbook.
Right.
You can retrofit it into quite easily. Whether or not it actually is equipped with all of those things is another story, because it may not have been complete. It might not have been fully complete by the time that Sync had it in his possession. And I'm not going to give away too much about that, reveal too much about that. So,
because that's probably what Elias wants to find out first of all, because he's like, okay, bedroom's awesome, but
I guess at this point we're all just kind of. At this point we're all just standing there. Well, I'm going to get a drink. Anybody can join me if they like.
Yeah, please move your pieces wherever it is your character currently is, just so we know where everybody is. And if you want
Anar
to claim rooms, claim rooms. It's up to you.
Yeah, out of character, I don't want to be like the bossy person, you stay here, yeah.
Anar is going to. I'm sorry.
Anar is doing what? I'm sorry.
He's actually going to interact with Sync for a second. He's actually going to hurry over to the SL, poke head in, and say, this one would actually wonder if you mind it taking up residence in your cargo hold instead.
Why are you saying this? I'm I'm just going back and look. You want to stay in the cargo?
Yes.
Sure, no problem.
You sure? It's going to be noisy. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
he doesn't say that.
Okay.
Out of character, Anar is trying to free up more bedrooms for NPCs.
Yeah.
Out of character.
Definitely go with that. No, he just feel more comfortable there, to be honest.
Are you in your mech?
No, he's carrying around the thing.
Okay.
Just keep in mind that when he's in the mech, he's actually the same size as Arkara, technically.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit bigger, and that might be it.
I'll just say, yeah. I mean, if you want to sleep in a room full of boxes, go right ahead.
Before he pokes his head out, he's got boxes. What boxes?
It is a cargo. It's full of cargo.
This one may need to scope out the size of your cargo hold. He'll get back to you on it.
Yeah, I'll just be
How
trying.
do you access the cargo hold?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing, Hark.
Because I know it's over here on the map, but where do we actually go to get
Is it
there?
the stairs?
Oh, wait. Is it this right here?
Yeah.
Because it has it looks like a ladder.
Yeah.
Where?
Where?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I thought
okay.
Yeah.
these stairs lead up to the cockpit over here, which is where I'm currently.
Yeah, I believe these stairs lead up to the cockpit, and I believe this one takes you all the way down.
Yeah, that would be
that
a
takes
ladder,
you all the way
or
down.
something.
Okay, well,
yeah,
real
that makes
quick.
sense.
Real quick, Sake would say, how do you climb down ladders before? Actually, by the way.
That might be an elevator. Could it be an elevator?
Oh,
Wait, wait.
that's true.
You
Yeah,
asked
that
me
could be
an
an elevator.
How does it
We'll
climb
see.
down ladders?
We'll say that's an elevator.
Okay. Never mind. Sorry, Jeff.
That's cool.
Yeah,
He'll
I'll
probably just nosedive down there and just float all the way down.
Whee!
Yeah, he'll probably say we too.
Totally in character.
We're talking about a guy who would be whooping all the way down from an airdrop.
So
Oh, I'm gonna
Cicepia,
go- No,
I'm
sorry.
checking
ahead.
up the,
I was gonna say Cicepia looks like she's checking out one of the bedrooms.
yeah, just making sure it's not too cramped. Just
No.
for-
It's fairly
Things.
roomy. I mean, it's decently furnished. I mean, it's not 5-star hotel,
I
but
take a
it's
sigh of relief.
it's clean. It's very. I mean, the walls are like white or just a solid color. The bedding is very simple. I mean, it's pretty much as run of the mill of a bedroom as you can have. But
Could be worse.
Elias is probably going to feel a lot more at home in one of those, and in the digs that he's been in for the last few
right.
months. It's like it's not massive, but it's not enormous. That said, I am going to check out all the systems to see what's actually been installed on this thing.
Out of character, how many NPCs is everybody going to try and recruit? I got at least 2 in mind if we're free up.
Maybe one.
Yeah, maybe one.
Depends on where we end up in our universe.
Exactly. Depends on where we end up and who we end up running into and whether or not we're still friends.
I don't know if I have anyone in mind to recruit.
Actually, the one of the people I have in mind doesn't even need to sleep that much. When I think about it, I was definitely thinking about getting Marauder shields after finding
we
out.
need to
who
recruit
he
Marauder
is.
shields. Come on, we need to recruit,
Yes.
recruit Marauder
Yes, we do.
shields.
Not to mention, it would be nice to have a Reaper on our side while dealing with Reapers.
That's
Though I
true.
doubt he'd feel very happy about that, to be honest. Or he might
Well,
want
Well,
to.
I think
guess
he might want some. He might want some payback.
But Hark, by the way, I remember back in Section 1, you said Mridi was had to do some personal business.
Correct.
So Sync, I guess at this
is
point,
she here?
he'll just take the time to send her an email, I guess, through his data pad or whatever future email saying like, hey, something's come up. The ship might not be back when you come back from whatever it is you're doing. Just let me know when you're ready to return, and I'll try to see if I can get back here or some point.
Yes. To answer Elias's question real quick, as far as what appears to be outfitted on the ship in terms of hardware, passive sensors, cyclonic barrier technology, disruptor torpedoes, your typical thrusters, and yes, it does have it is obviously capable of utilizing the relays, the Mass Effect relays, obviously.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much standard for a ship like this.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that,
What-
it's pretty bare bones. you know.
Okay. What size is it?
I want to say, well, let's see. Each square is a meter, so you can probably guesstimate.
Judging from the size, it seems almost the size of the original Normandy since it was just a small aircraft.
Yeah, I would probably.
Frigate.
Yeah, I would probably say whatever the original Normandy was. That's probably a decent enough size.
Because that was a small. That's what I thought when I looked at it as well. I just wanted to
SR2
double
was
check.
twice the size.
Yeah, but SR2 was still a frigate. It was just about
I
as
know.
big as you could push a frigate without.
But this one
It's
just
a
looks
frigate.
like the size of the original.
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree. Okay, so we've got unguided disruptor torpedoes, I guess.
Correct.
Or guided. Unguided disruptor torpedoes. Okay.
Unguided disruptor
Unguided.
torpedoes. Yes, passive sensors, cyclonic barrier technology, thrusters, Mass Effect
Anar's going to
relay.
draw on all of your missiles, so they have smiley faces.
That's
standard heat
actually kind of
management,
funny.
things like that.
Maybe on one you'll
Yeah.
write, "Why so serious?"
Okay.
I'm sorry. You know what? No, I'm not sorry.
I think at this point, Arkara, you just walked in. He'll finish his drink. He'll turn around and say, "Oh, is there anything you need?"
Well, I was thinking of taking you up on the offer of drinks. That would be nice.
Sure.
I can need
I'm not
something
too-
after all this.
Sure. He'll just kind of like open up a pantry, and there's like a huge array of like different alcoholic stuff. I'm not sure what you Krogan like, but please go ahead and take your pick.
Arkara, when you
Is the
go,
cake in there?
yes, the cake is still out there.
No, probably like on the table.
Because I
Arkara, when you go over to the refrigerator, on the refrigerator, you do see a photograph of an Asari who definitely looks like the spitting image of the Mridi that you know from home. Spitting image.
I sort of startle a bit and take a closer look.
Yeah, right now it looks like the photo is Mridi, and she is with it's a photo of both her and Sink. Sink looks a little younger than he does right now, and she kind of looks like she's giving Sink a noogie.
I think it's probably really
Gross!
Yeah, that's the Mridi I
Total
know.
bros. Total bros, yes. Very total bros.
Does Sink notice? Do I notice her looking at the picture?
Yeah. A little
Yeah,
embarrassing, probably.
Yeah.
I'm probably sort of almost my jaw has hit the floor sort of thing. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's Ree. Out of character, by the way, Sink calls her Ree. I don't know if I've ever
Okay.
said that, but he calls her Ree for short. He likes to use nicknames because he's like, oh, if your name's too long, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna use something else. But he's,
Mridi. Too long.
Yeah. he's like,
Wait,
Yeah, Akara, you're just gonna be A.
hey,
Oh, wait. If she's A, then what am I going to be? Ann?
Jello. Or something.
Yeah, there you go.
You gotta call me
Jello. It's
Jello.
gonna be Jello.
As long as jellyfish is not among those names, I'm okay.
Oh,
It's like J-Lo, but Jello. It's like J-Lo.
So, Anar and Turian unite.
Actually, you should call Anar J-Lo. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh,
okay.
then I'm calling you Faucet.
Yeah. But he'll just kind of,
amazing.
I guess I'll just kind of ponder and, yeah, when I first met her, I didn't think we'd get as close as we did, if you consider it that.
It's just that I know her in my universe, and it's a little bit odd to see her here, so to speak. This is really getting weird. I stoop down and try to grab for the nearest drink.
I think the enemy's using the wrong weapons. Hold photographs of Asari to Akara. She'd be like, I'm confused. No, stop showing me the right way.
can't do anything for one turn.
I'll walk over.
Explodes to all sorts of pictures. No, she and
picture
Stink were
gun.
taking a bath together when they were children. No, I'm so confused.
All right, guys, let Dylan and
Sorry.
Missy continue their RP. Go ahead.
I'll just walk up and you can take the bottle if you like, or if you want a glass, here you go. And I'll just kind of slide a glass of ice over to her.
Well, ice is nice, thank you. I just fumble with the lid of the bottle and just pour myself one and drink it all in one go. Like, oh my, I need that. This is getting weirder by the minute.
You're gonna need more than that.
Please help yourself and let me know if you need anything else, and I'll walk out of the room.
Thank you.
No problem.
Sink, you walk up the room, and that is the point where I'm assuming you're going to go into your quarters to send the email to Mridi.
Yeah,
Assuming
sure
that's
thing.
what you're going to do.
Oh,
So
no
let's say
way, you're
doing
gonna hear a
that
lot
now.
of wrestling from the cargo hold and hearing words like, sweet, and, garbage.
I'll get to you in a moment, Anar. Actually, well, Anar, just as an FYI, you're down in the cargo, and there does seem to be a bunch of boxes and crates. I don't know if you poke around in any of them. Do you open any of them? Do you look through any of them?
He's going to convince himself that Sink gave him like all the permission in the world to look through them, maybe even gave him a pack in the back, maybe even had a little fanfare while going through them because he's insane.
So you are looking through them.
Yes, I'm looking through them.
They appear to be a bunch of scrap pieces, spare parts, a lot of, I guess, techie junk. So pretty much an engineer's paradise.
Elias is gonna love that space.
Meanwhile,
Actually, Pie's gonna love the space more than Elias is.
Sync, you're going to send an email to Mridi, and there is an auto. When you do send the email, there's an auto response back, and the auto response says, "If you are in need of me, I'm over at the hospital recovering from much needed surgery."
Oh my. Much needed surgery. I'd never. No, man, I must not be as good of a doctor as I thought I was.
Apparently, she was
Auto
hiding
response.
something from you.
I'm gonna convince everybody to go back to the hospital.
You could just ask nicely.
He doesn't know that.
All right, I'll just kind of think about what I'm gonna do next, and I guess I'll just sit there for a few minutes and kind of think about. Maybe I'm gonna recollect what could I have noticed that maybe gave her some kind of indication that she was sick. Just gonna sit there and think about it.
Okay. Cicepia and Elias, what are you guys doing up in the cockpit?
I've got something to
around
ask
at all
you.
the systems.
I've got
Okay,
something
so
to
you
ask-
basically are learning everything that I just told you earlier.
Yes.
Cicepia, what are you
I've
doing?
got something to ask him.
Go ahead.
Okay. Elias, is it?
Elias, yes.
Elias, yes.
Officer Altus?
Yes.
That's Lieutenant Altus to you.
Not in this universe.
Not in this universe.
We don't know what she is in this universe. Could be
That's
private.
actually a legitimate. That
Stop.
actually is a legitimate way, like a legitimate use of that.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Not in this universe.
I can see that coming back later on.
Elias is so using that every opportunity he gets.
I have a favor to ask. I imagine myself, Sync, everyone's going to have to get things squared away in their respected universe. I'm going to be busy with trying to deal with my boss since I disappeared in the past 24 hours. Basically abandoned my post to him thinking probably, so I'll have to do a lot of convincing there. If we do decide to kind of like quick split up to get things squared away for them, could you head over to Anar and the Krogan's world and kind of do a little bit of background? I don't know much about them. I mean, think about
Could
it.
just
From
ask.
You're not
I've
there
heard-
on Anar.
I know.
I feel.
Sorry,
I mean,
I'm not quite sure what you're asking me to do. Are you asking me to spy on them?
A
Just-
cop with trust issues, huh?
just some background information. I've already tried questioning. The Krogan, but she refused to give me any legitimate answer. From what all I can gather, she was a sniper at your concert. From what I can gather, there's two possible scenarios. One, she was out to kill you to make it really well known, possibly a rival. Another is that she was out against one of your fans. And the fact that she has something that can able to persuade these things that can control the rifts. There's a lot of things that I don't. There's a lot of mysteries about her. If you're able to get over there and find out something else, that'd be awesome. I probably would ask Anar, but I imagine he'll be wrapped up in trying to get things squared away over as well. And I'm also a little bit sketchy about him too, with his disc that has Reaper tech. It's a lot of things that need answers, but I'll be busy with my universe getting things squared away. Could you do that for me over there? I imagine with your tech procedure or your specialties in tech, you'd be able to do something and do a little bit of research.
I'll see what I can find out, but I think we'll probably have to go together, Officer Altus. I don't see us successfully going to multiple places without everyone cooperating together.
Fair enough. Again, yeah, I guess then if I'm over there too, then I could do the research myself as well, see what kind of criminal background. Though again, if she is as skilled a mercenary as I'm thinking, she probably won't have any criminal background.
Well, I guess we'll find out, although if we're being absolutely ruthless, we don't actually need her, we just need her seeds.
Oh.
That would
Isn't
be
that
a
what
last.
the male Krogan also say?
I'm just saying, Arkara, self-made delight.
Anar's approval rating just went down 5 points.
Yeah, Car's approval.
Yeah, he's getting renegade points for the win.
The shitty celebrity.
Do you really intend to try to go one-on-one against a Krogan?
No, I just said that we only need her seeds. There's nothing in there that says that we have to take her out.
I think for now it's best if we all try to cooperate, but best way is to at least know everyone's hand, and I don't know anything about her. Just something that I need to get things squared away. Making sure that everyone's on the up and up here.
That's fair.
Unbeknownst to Elias and Cicepia, the PA system was on this entire time. No,
One
no,
of the
I'm just
buttons
joking.
Elias
I'm
was
just kidding.
tampering with.
I was going to say,
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
Let's just say that if Arkara had heard that, she would have approved. She would have been like, yeah, they do have a quad after all.
Meanwhile, Sync, while you're in your room, as Anar Jeff was saying, you hear noises coming from the cargo. You hear a bunch of there's a lot of noise coming around down there, as if somebody was rummaging through all the junk that's down there. You kind of know that Mridi likes her stuff down there like the way they are, and doesn't really like. She's very particular about how it's ordered down there. So
Okay.
I don't know if you do anything about that.
Yeah, okay, I'll zoom down. Whoosh. Hey, what exactly are you doing over here?
He's trying to push up a box he actually knocked over. Oh, sorry. This one accidentally knocked over a box while rummaging through your things. Oh, by the way, thanks for letting this one rummage through your things.
Zeke will remember this.
If my friend comes back, let's just not say anything about this. I really don't come down here often. I don't have really hide much other than booze and cigars. My friend, on the other hand, this is kind of her playground.
Anar is gonna rise while slapping his tentacles together and look over and saying, this one actually needs to be serious. If we're going to survive this mission, we need guns. Lots of them. And we're going to need the room to put them. This one has what we need. If your friend really does have a problem with this, you need to consult her immediately on where to put these things, because we have a lot coming.
Well, I'll tell you what, J-Lo.
Just for the record, you have never seen Anar this serious, by the way.
Okay. I don't think we've actually interacted yet, so,
Oh, hi! I'm Anar.
yeah, we interacted.
You know what? Now that you mention it... Oh.
Nice way of introduction. Perfect.
Listen, we need
I'm
guns.
turning this into memory.
Alright.
Anar is actually also going to look to his left real quick, and then look back and say, by the way, this one's name is Anar. This one doesn't believe it's properly stuff. He holds out a tentacle. This one knows you humans like to shake the hands.
Of course. Nice to meet you, J-Lo. And I'll shake his hand.
What did you
No,
call
no.
this one?
Come on, I don't have time. I don't have time for these names.
So you make up names.
Exactly. You
He's
this
the
one's
American
already
recruit.
I mean, look at
Anar
my
just
name.
shrugs.
Oh wait, I didn't even introduce myself. I'm Pink, by the way.
You mean that thing in my bathroom? I mean this one's bathroom?
Not quite.
No?
Well, listen. You talked about my friend. I actually got an automatic email response from her just a few minutes ago. she's in the hospital in this universe. So if you can help me convince my friends, all of our not friends, companions or whatever, not friends yet, I don't think. If you can help me convince everyone to go to the hospital, the faster we can bring it back here, the faster you can get permission to rummage around down here.
Anar puts down his suitcase in the corner, not the corner, I'm sorry, probably up against one of the boxes, says, sure, this one would be happy to. It understands the importance of making sure loved ones are safe. But don't you have a problem with the officer on board, if this one remembers?
And I think you don't have a problem with persuading people. At least that's how Hanar to go.
You do remember that everybody pulled a gun on this one, and this one had to reply with the same. I'm sorry. This one doesn't entirely believe that they fully trust this one just yet.
Maybe they'll see the less mechanized version of you as a more humble, kind person.
As Sink says that, he's actually rubbing the scar across his body, and thinks he actually seems a little dazed out for a second, and then he looks back. Sure, this one can agree with that to a degree. Like I said, Anar's never been this serious yet.
Okay. I don't think Sink would notice yet, at least. Well, he probably heard you screaming when you were like, wrecking house, shooting all them people. This one's for this and that one's for that. But other than that, he probably thought you were angry.
Yeah. Among other things.
So I'll just say, well, just kind of be careful around here. She's very observant. She'll notice anything that's broken. And I'll just go back upstairs.
This one wonders if you would prefer if it were to talk to the officer. This one's afraid of a full-blown barroom brawl going on. And he's actually shaking his tentacles at the same time. Like, meh.
I'll say, well, I tried lying. It didn't work so well. Maybe you can do a better job.
Yes, this one's familiar with lying as well. It's bad.
Not always. And I'll go up the ladder.
He'll look up the ladder. It's like, this one wonder what that meant. Oh well, herpy-doo. Anar will start looking for Cicepia then.
Okay. If you're looking for Cicepia, it looks like she's in the main floor.
I've been doing a lot of walking around.
I'll just go.
List of things to upgrade.
Yeah,
I'll go in there.
So Anar will find Cicepia. Go ahead.
So Anar comes up the ladder, climbing, sort of. Probably comes to the door, sees Cicepia, goes up to her, is like, Officer, how do you feel about our new digs?
I think this will serve just as well for the mission that we're going to be heading into.
Yes, it is rather sudden that we got thrown onto this mission. Honestly, this one thinks of it more as a war. We are going up against the Reapers, after all. Again, he's serious.
Again.
He'll look behind him, and then he'll turn back. This one is surprised that you and the captain have yet to... and he'll put up his tentacles in a motion thing, like, duked it out yet. This one senses the tension between you two.
It's
been some tough matches.
Yes, but this one appreciates no bullet holes in the walls yet.
By the way, Arkara, you are overhearing this conversation from the mess hall, just so you're aware. So if you want to stay in there, that's fine, but you are hearing all of this. Go ahead. Continue.
You might find it hard to believe, but I am a woman that won't take shit from anyone. If I find out someone's lying, I won't take that lying down.
Ooh.
He'll size her up. It's like, this one believes you wouldn't take anything lying down. Anyways.
Shots fired.
And then he'll
Did Arkara just interject?
This one means it in the highest respects, of course.
I see Arkara just move to the
Whoa.
She's like,
Listening in the doorway, there's a glass
doorway.
against the door.
Basically,
Did I hear her
standing,
walking?
leaning
Spying
towards
on
the
the
door frame,
roommates.
just like, this is
Uh,
interesting.
Did I
Anar's
hear
gonna
walking?
get down to business. This one has had a quick chat with the captain. He says that one of his crew members is in dire need of medical attention and is currently residing in the hospital. This one imagines that we all have things to take care of in each of our worlds, and poking two tentacles together, he's going to also add, this one certainly knows he does, or it does.
I'll have to get squared away with my superiors as well.
Of course. This one wishes to accompany the doctor to visit his friend. He just wanted to make sure you knew that he had to take care of this business. Whether or not you wish to come with, he says it's up to you. He didn't really say that. But Anar's trying to patch walls.
It's kind of him to offer. It's not my place to be there. It seems like it's a very personal matter. He might want his space. I'll have to think about it.
This one understands. And he'll turn away to find someone else, and then he'll turn back. He'll actually turn real quick and say, oh, one more thing.
Hmm?
Crap. Blank mind. He'll shake his head and says, no, never mind. And he'll just float off.
Okay.
That's what he was totally going to do originally. I did not totally forget what I was going to say. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sync.
He'll have to find Arkara next. He's saving
Okay.
Elias for last.
Okay. Before we do that, let me see what Sync is doing in the other room. So explain to me what's happening, Dylan, with Sync.
Okay, do you want me to explain the room itself, actually, or?
Please do.
Okay, so I was kind of thinking about this over the week. So over here, on this side, there's like a plain shelf, and it's like a glass trophy case on it, and like lined up very neatly. It's like a bunch of, it looks like motherboards, but they're like in line, but each one looks a little more advanced than the next. They're all like deactivated. They're not working or anything. It's just like he just has that, and then as he walks in, he'll kind of just glance at the chips, and then he'll glance down and at his chest with the turquoise light and just kind of trace his hands through the lights, I guess. And then he'll sit down and he'll look at a diary that his wife would write in frequently, and he'll just kind of look at the different journal articles and look back on think about happy thoughts when he was with her and stuff like that. Basically,
Gotcha.
This room is like a shrine to his wife, not like a creepy thing, just like just
It hasn't been touched. It's kind of like a time capsule. Like
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess the question is her body there in cryogenic stasis? Or something?
No, her body's not there.
Okay.
Okay. So Sync is taking a moment to himself. I don't know if he is saying anything while he's in that room. Otherwise,
No, I don't think so. I'll
No,
just kind
okay.
of just kind of sit and think.
Okay. Okay. So while Sync's doing that, and then Anar is going to Arkara in the mess area.
I'm
Yeah.
just imagining him opening the door and she's like right there in the doorway.
Yeah.
And of course,
Just stand
He opens the door and this Krogan falls into him.
and of course, I'm just seeing that like she was like right there by the doorway. I'm just gonna like roll my eyes and just walk in the opposite direction.
Actually, at the tail end of their conversation, she'll just peek out her head, mention with the ball towards Cicepia, and go, "Hey, you pie jack! I knew you had a quad after all."
Oh, what now?
I love how Cicepia like runs back. Cicepia went all into the conference room and then zoop.
There's a
Whoop. What? What did you say? What did you call me?
What?
What did you
Hello?
call me?
Space monkey.
Yep, basically.
Anar will turn to Arkara and say,
Space monkey.
this one recommends not making enemies of allies.
Well, I gave her a compliment. Whatever she does with it.
So you basically told a female that she had balls?
Oh,
Well, isn't
we don't
quad
really know
just
For a
a
Turian
Krogan,
anatomy.
it's a good thing.
There you go.
Well, it's not balls,
Anar
really.
will also
it's,
ask, anyways, did you overhear the conversation by any chance?
You could say I did, yeah.
Great. So, hospital, friend, do you want to come with?
Yeah, sure. I don't see why not.
Now, have you seen the lounge singer anywhere?
Last I saw him, he went up the stairs, I think.
Stairs.
Yeah, the ones behind you. And she points with the bottle.
Oh. Oh, okay. Well, this one will go find him then. Anywho. So, cockpits.
You go up into the cockpit, and Elias is still at the computer system, I'm assuming. Cicepia,
Well,
you're in
Elias
the conference. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, Elias is there. The drone's actually out looking over the systems as well, as far as you can tell, and he's humming to himself.
The drone is out?
Yes, the drone is out.
Okay, so
Anar's gonna rap on the side of the wall
There's the
and then
combat
say,
drone.
ouch.
Oh, nice.
Where?
He'll rap on the side of the wall.
it's right
say,
next to you. You
ouch.
should be able to control it.
Yes, I can move him.
Sweet.
Actually, he's probably scanning this area.
Sure.
Anything else that you know?
Is Jeff asking me that question? Okay.
I don't know. I was just making sure all the explanation was out of the way.
I was just trying to tell
Anyways,
Cicepia that she's in the conference room, and it's, again, relatively bare bones. There is a screen that you can, project something onto if you wish to project something. But anyway, go ahead, Anar.
Okay, he'll pull up the stairs real quick, see the Quarian rap on the side of the wall, say ouch, and then he'll mutter to himself, bullets, okay. Rapping on walls hurts. Weird. Whether or not Elias hears him, it's up to him.
I'm going to say at the moment no, because he's humming to himself, and unless you're loud, doing that loudly, I'm assuming
Yes.
your knocks aren't actually that loud.
He's stronger than he looks.
I was
Anyways,
going based on fleshiness and lack of bone.
anyways, he's got a tentacle up on around the corner, around the wall, and poking at his head. I was like, "Hey, lounge singer, hospital, friend, going. You coming?"
You have a friend in the hospital?
No, Captain.
Okay. I got nothing better to do.
And then you'll do what he calls a thumbs up. Sweet. All right, gonna go let him know. We're leaving in a few minutes. He'll
Looks like
shoot back down.
Looks like Arkara has picked out her room as well. So, I'm assuming, unless there's nothing else that's going on, that's important that's going on right now, I'm assuming that Sync is going to want to go to the hospital, correct?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Anar's gonna
Alright.
wait for him in the main area.
Sync is going to, I guess, tell people he's going, and I think some people are tagging along, I guess.
I guess I'll just go to the PA system and just kind of announce overhead. I'll be traveling to the hospital. I think the Hanar's coming. Anybody else would like to join? If you have anyone that you need to see, by all means. But if you want to come with me, sure. Just don't be too surprised by our universe.
Just for the record, Anar's gonna be looking up, listening to him. You're like, why the hell did you have this one talk to everybody then?
Creator Elias, Pi says,
Yeah?
I have been doing more analysis on the collider, and it seems that some downtime is probably going to be for the best. Apparently, in between uses, the device needs to charge for 24 hours before it can be activated again.
Oh.
So you
Yeah.
can't just jump
know.
willy-nilly, because that would be a little OP if you just wanted to jump. Whoops! We gotta get out.
Oopsie.
Otherwise, that would be
That's
too
what I
much
was
of an
gonna talk to
escape.
her
That would be too
about.
much of an escape plan.
That would have been a
Remember.
brilliant thing. It's like, well, that's good to know. Thanks for telling me.
Each time you jump, you have to stay there for 24 hours. So, All right. So
Dang.
you guys head over to the hospital. Let me check my notes on something.
Actually, where is that chip now, anyways?
Yeah. Who
I just
has
remember
that
what
chip?
Anar was going to ask.
I remember Cicepia had it last when we jumped.
Just-
Oh, that's all
yeah.
up.
I guess I'll still have it.
I'm hoping in a container.
Sure.
Because I can't imagine her holding tongs the entire time. It would explain why you didn't punch him. But still. Anyways.
Did we actually get a shielded container from the Green Universe for that? Were we able to get one at the office, CSEC office precinct thing?
I imagine
What do
Cicepia
we-
just went to Armory and said, "Hey, you got a container that holds Reprotect from the war?" They're like, "Yeah, sure, here you go. Sweet,
Yeah,
thanks."
like would Sync have something like not like as good, but something to use, or I don't know, like some kind of Mridi maybe, or
I'm sorry. Are you guys asking me a question?
yeah, I was just like would
Yes.
would Sync's ship have something like not as good, something to be able to hold the Reprotect to keep it from
We're
hurting
looking
us?
for a shielded container that can be used.
I just had a very disturbing thought.
Yeah, I'm assuming you there. I believe that there is a section in the engine room here where it can be kept. Engine room A.
Oh,
During
remember
the
there-
course of the year, Anar has held physically that chip a lot. And so
Is
his
an arm
friend.
indoctrinated?
That's what I'm scared of.
Guess we'll
Because he
find
didn't
out.
know what it was.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so whatever you guys do with the chip, you're storing it. If you want to store it,
There
that's
we go.
fine.
Here we go. We'll start
Um,
it.
Oh, he's throwing it over there.
Anar
Yep.
would rather have it, but
You're storing it in
he
engine room B.
understands.
Okay, that's fine. You're storing it in engine room B. Good to know.
Is
Okay.
Pi going to want to stick around and investigate it while I go off
Here's
chip?
the reality. I'm actually putting the reality collator in there.
Oh,
Or at least
cool.
attempting to. Maybe I can't. Oh, it's a worksheet. It's not a character. All right. Well, I'll mark it that it's in there for the time being. You guys go to the, I guess, to the front desk. I guess all 5 of you are there.
I'm debating whether
Cicepia's off.
is she.
Isn't
I've
she?
got. My boss imagines is gonna be.
Yeah, I'm
super-
assuming you need to
Think,
talk to your boss at some
I've
point.
got. I've got to bail. I've got to go over to the boss.
Sync's
'Cause-
probably gonna be like whatever. I mean, he's in his mind thinking the more people the better because Mridi's gonna think he's crazy as all get out. So
By the way, Cicepia, before Cicepia goes, I'm actually going to pass her a data disk with all the relevant, I suppose, background data. So the readings, the fact that we're not quite crazy on this whole universe jumping thing, and some of the vague outlines of the maths.
I'll keep it in.
That
I
might
have a
help.
story in my belt. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm basically going.
Why is
"This
that
might help."
celebrity's eyes glowing?
Because I'm Quarian. They glow. That's gonna pass on. They've always glowed.
Look, I know my eyes are lovely, but seriously, stop staring. It's freaking
No.
me out.
I just turn my mask filters on so that they just glow white again.
Yeah. Though there isn't many Quarians in this universe, so he's.
oh, that is true. Yeah.
No. That was. Oh, right.
Yeah,
Blue.
there aren't very many in this
Yes.
universe. Correct.
It was the
I
Krogan.
don't know that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably tell him, just watch out. There'll be a lot of, female Quarians probably.
So, okay.
What?
So you guys are.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are at the hospital, and you make it over to the receptionist area, and Sync. What do you say to the receptionist?
I'm here to see Mridi. She was supposed to have some sort of surgery. I'm not sure when it was scheduled, but can you please direct me to where she is?
Let's see here. What is your name, sir?
Sync.
Sync. Do you have a last name, sir?
No.
Kitchen.
I see. And what is your relation? What is your relationship with the patient, if you don't mind me asking?
She's my companion.
I see. Okay. Yes. She is able to take you. You actually came just in time. She is able to take visitors. Here, I'll write you down the. I'll write down the room number for you. And she thinks
I'm
it
guessing
over.
we're all with Sync at the thing, or are we waiting elsewhere?
Are
That
you
depends on what
walking
he
with
wants
Sync
to
to the room where Mridi is?
Anar will ask him, do you want this one to wait out here?
I guess are we at the room yet, Hark? Or are we just?
We're not there yet. You're still at the receptionist area.
He'll probably say you guys can come, and then he'll look at Elias. Look, when we get to the room, just kind of hang back for a second because she's a huge fan or whatever. She might like not listen to what we have to say.
I'm
and
assuming
just-
Elias. Yeah, I'm assuming Elias is in
I'm
disguise.
plainclothes right now. I don't actually look. You wouldn't recognize
Oh,
Elias
I'm sorry.
as
That's
Elias
true.
right now.
Anar will probably look at Elias as like, you're famous in this world too? Is there ever a world where you can't be famous?
but I mean, other than that,
Don't look at me.
No.
You'd have to ask the me and all the other worlds to find
Or-
out how many
Arkara,
of them
do
anyway.
you want to go? Because like I know Mridi's your friend, or would you be like, oh, it's this kind of awkward? Like she doesn't know me, but like I know her, kind of.
It will be weird, but considering we're probably going to do this a few times, I imagine I have to get used to this.
Okay.
It's going to
Yeah.
be hard, but it's better to see that she's all right here as well.
Okay, but I mean, other than that, sorry, Elias, I forgot you had your like civilian costume on.
Well,
But-
yeah, I've basically got none of the performance gear on, so
Okay.
most people won't recognize me unless I start
You-
singing.
You make your way over to the room, and once you spot the room that Mridi has been admitted into, there is a Solarian doctor who comes out of there, and she's coming out with a data pad or something, and as you're walking towards her, she says, "Oh, looks like our patient has visitors already." Mridi, before you ask anything, the procedure went very well. This is something that Mridi said needed to happen as soon as possible, and it's an experimental procedure, but I'd like to believe that it was a success.
What kind of procedure in particular are we talking about?
I think it would be best for Mridi to explain that to you.
He'll just kind of not even say anything after that. I'll just walk in.
You walk in, and you do see there is a bed, and Mridi is lying in it. Solario was saying the fortunate thing, recovery for this is fairly quick.
Okay.
You walk in,
Piss.
and Mridi's in a gown, like a patient's
Right.
gown. You are shocked, however, because Mridi looks like this now.
Knew it!
She
Knew
had a
it!
sex
Knew
change?
it! Knew it!
Wow.
I
Oh.
so saw that coming.
Gender reassignment
Whoa,
surgery.
whoa, whoa.
Nice.
Okay, well I'm gonna.
Very.
Does she have like gauze and stuff around her face, or like is she like no like full?
His face. His
His
face.
face.
His Oh, yeah, okay.
Gauze
Oh,
around his
God.
face, but like it's hard to tell from the gown, but most of the surgery wasn't on Mridi's face, although some of her features are now more angular.
Okay.
But of course, majority of the procedure seems to be on Mridi's body. As far as you can tell, this is a male Asari.
Okay. I'll look at the. I'll look at the doctor first. I don't think this is the right patient. Sorry.
At this point, the patient on the bed starts to wake up, and when the patient's eyes adjust and looks towards your direction, he says, "Oh, so you ditch me and then you come surprise me when I wasn't ready for you yet."
Re? Is that really you?
Yeah, boss. I mean, boss. Sync.
What?
Surprise! He says as he sort of pulls himself up. He pulls himself up.
I'll give him a hand if he needs it. And what? Why didn't you tell me about this?
It's complicated, he says. You seem to be busy with, problems of your own. There wasn't any reason for me to burden you with some of my own internal conflicts. I hope you're not freaked out by all of this, Mridi says.
We live by our own philosophies. I've changed my ways, and I've changed myself in some ways, and well, now you've changed yourself in other ways.
I'm still the same person, though. It's just now I feel that I am the way I should be now.
And he'll say most definitely, and he'll give him a hug.
Aww.
Like a half hug, I guess.
Yeah.
How is Arkara feeling about this? Because again, in the face, it does look like your best friend, but she's a dude.
She's very
dude version.
conflicted,
She's
but very intrigued as well. For sure.
You probably have a lot of questions. The doctor says that I should be able to be good as new and at least ready to go back to the ship tomorrow afternoon.
Well, that's pretty good to hear, because we're gonna need all the help we can get.
If you don't mind, he says, do you think you could call me Drimmy from now on? Although Ree works too.
Sure. How about Dree?
Dree's fine.